Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Barbarian and this is Crusader Kings 2, and today I want to make something amazing happen that never happens, but you know, that is something that I'm very much missing in this start date. 936 is of course amazing. You know, we've used this opportunity already to spread the Hafsid Pirate Emirate. Now we control the Aegean Sea, as well as of course Kefalonia, and the way I see it, there's only really one thing missing, and that is something that historically did occur. You know, historically of course the Pirate Emirate ended just 5 years from 955, but you know who didn't end? Of course the faTIMIDs. The faTIMIDs are one of my favorite topics of all time, despite me knowing barely anything about them, and that is because they were one of the coolest seafaring nations at the time, or well, seafaring realms, I guess. I was also looking at playing Duchess Teresa of de Vitoria Aragon, but she has it a bit too easy. You know, she has about 7k troops, so I said to myself, you know what I want to do is, I want to play the faTIMIDs, and I want to bring Shia Islam over here into Egypt, so that then the Seljuks, who have just now arrived, can be a bit of an enemy here to the upcoming AI faTIMIDs. Now, of course, a very rightful question is, why are the faTIMIDs so cool? Why do I care so much about them? I mean, first of all, of course, they are the Shia Caliph. Caliph Al-Mu'izz lives right over here, and as you can see, he does directly descend from Fatima, which is why, well, they're called faTIMIDs. Now, the way this works is essentially that the faTIMIDs back in the day, you know, I think about 100 years, I'm not quite certain, but about that, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more. 100 years before 955, they migrated all the way from over here. I think they were roughly in Syria or Iraq, I'm not quite sure, but they were in hiding because the Abbasid Caliph, of course, saw them as a threat, rightfully so, to his power. So what he did was he tried to persecute them. They fled over here to Africa, where there were some loyal tribes that would support them, and they rose up, and rise up they did. What you need to know about the faTIMIDs in this point of time is that they started to realize that their position is one of absolute power if only you control Sicily and have a city that builds a bunch of ships. And they did that right here. They founded one called Mahdia. That was their capital for a time, and in Mahdia you had a gigantic port, and that gigantic port was used to rebuild, to build and repair any sort of ship that belonged to the faTIMIDs and their allies. As long as you control Sicily in real life, you have to know one thing: you can practically raid everywhere. The faTIMIDs, when they were controlling Sicily, went as far as the Adriatic Sea, where they raided, where they started to pillage and started to harass the prosperity and of course everybody that was a Christian in the region. This led to a point where Sicily became the focus point of the Christian aggression towards the south, because whoever holds Sicily can supply their ships, their raiders in the north, and long term this then resulted in Genoa and Pisa getting together with a fleet raid and taking down Mahdia. They did indeed do this before the First Crusade happened, which then is also the justification, or rather the explanation, why the First Crusade could even be supplied from the sea. Interesting stuff, but when the First Crusade happened, of course, the faTIMIDs were no longer around here in Africa. They already had moved to Egypt. Now, I don't actually know why they did that. I can tell you the naval power got gimped when they did it, because obviously you can't really sail via Crete. When the Byzantines hold this, that is a very fruitless endeavor, and if you go all along the coast, then you can only raid Asia Minor. Getting actual access to Constantinople, for example, or getting access to the Adriatic Sea was simply not possible from their new power base, and nonetheless they did it. I can honestly only assume it was because of the holy sites that they wanted to be closer to, and they directly meant to challenge the Abbasid Caliph. Now, the Abbasid Caliph isn't a factor here, but the Seljuks will be. For the moment, what you need to know is that we got some very mighty tributaries. We got the tributary right here, the Idrisid Sultanate, and then we have the Hawara Emirate. Are you? Okay, both of them are Shia, that is quite nice. Now, the thing about the Hawara Emirate is that I don't actually desire them to be my tributary, because I can only do an invasion, which is of course what we want to do, if I hold land that borders the Ikhshidid dynasty. Alright, I looked around quite a bit, and if you know, remember the thing that I said at the start of the video, that the faTIMIDs are so fascinating and obsessed with the control of the Mediterranean, I think I'm going to go against the Umayyads. I mean, they are a false caliph anyway. Caliph Abd al-Rahman II has no right to be called a caliph. We're going to conquer Majorca. Majorca will be the basis of the operation here, I think, as long as we do live in Africa, and then once we migrate, of course, I will leave it behind. But for the moment, if I destroy the Umayyads, and they have practically already been destroyed, then we have a wonderful shot at controlling the entirety of the Mediterranean Sea. I'm going to be a very, very generous caliph. My brother won't inherit. That is just a fact of life at this point. There's nothing that anybody can do about it, not even my brother. So what I'm going to do is, my brother, I'm going to grant you beautiful Majorca. May you enjoy it now and of course forever. And would you look at that, it is finally done. I have taken over so much of the map without really doing much. You know, we are of course quite powerful as the Caliph. Now what I'm going to do next is very simple. I'm just going to become Berber. Maybe long term I'm going to reconvert, but I think for the moment that is perfectly alright. What I care for now is the assembly of the troops yet again. Assemble the troops, bring them all the way over here to Tunis, and make sure that we can start raiding. I am so ready. A raiding faTIMID Caliphate. Now that is powerful. I think we're going to start with Venice. Venice deserves us to raid them. Of course, I mean, you know, they had it coming one way or another. They are Venice. They probably already got the 4th Crusade planned. I mean, the first one happened over here for Lotharingia, of course. But who knows where the second one goes. How are you doing, kid? Oh, they're doing alright. Look at that. Still has a truce. Sultan was won by... Oh, Hafsid Holy War for Hellas. That is very ambitious, my friend. I mean, he's ballsy. Can't fault a man for being ballsy, I guess. Can you believe this guy? I'm organizing a trade route, right? And this guy, as I am in his city, I'm not personally there, I guess. I'm not that good at that. But as I am raiding and sieging his city, he says, hey, do you want to pay me for the trade route? Well, yes, of course. You gotta give money, you know, when they deserve it, you gotta give them money. Okay, so I just returned home with a boatload of money, and of course now is the time to expand east, and I'm pretty sure that the invasion that I want to stage against the Iqshidid Sultanate will cost me 1000 piety, meaning I'm going to use the prestige that now that this guy is no longer my tributary, I'm going to use that money, rather than prestige I want to say, and the money I guess, not to subjugate, because subjugation is 200 piety, but to force vassalization. I can spend 1000 prestige. I just literally made about 500 prestige just with the loot that we actually got from it at 1.5k bucks. That's what we're sitting at. That is just outrageous. Now what I want to do is I of course want to smite our opponents, and would do that better than some mercenaries united with my troops. Let's just get rid of these fools down here. We can easily do that, I'm pretty sure. And there you go. Easiest money I've ever made in my entire life. And that just gives me a very ugly name. Oh, I wish this did not look like this, but it does. And what I'm going to do is, because I got nothing against this guy, right? We're not enemies. I'm going to give you Nafusa. Look at that. That is a good looking vessel right there. I really like that. Now, next that we need to do, I'm going to destroy this this rebellion, and then we're going to take a look at the cost of an invasion, because of course that is the primary thing that I really care about. There you go. Get out of here. Okay, so far so good. I can now dissolve my troops, and I think that is what we need to do so that I can look at this. Tell me. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Invasion of Egypt. 1000 piety. Yeah, that is pretty big, but you know what is bigger? Secluding yourself and getting 100 piety for free every time you do it. So, again, we're going into the east because the Seljuks are going to arrive, and they're Sunni. Now, the Iqshidid dynasty is also Sunni, meaning all of this is a bit boring. They're not really going to clash. There's very little fighting there. Instead, I'm going to plop down the Shia Caliphate here. And to get a reason to even go east, you know what, let's just go on a Hajj, let's talk to some people, and let's figure out how he feels about religion after all, how he feels about the world, and whether he wants to be closer to Mecca than ever before. Oh, wait, what? Oh my god, I am genuinely stunned. This is actually, I did not even know this event existed. I've never seen this event. I think this happens when you border the Iqshidids automatically, doesn't it? Because, like, I've never seen it. I've never seen the Fatimids migrate. I didn't think the game would allow them to migrate, but look at that. Egypt calls for aid. The Shias under the rule of Sultan Muzaffar ad-Din of the Iqshidid Sultanate have long suffered from being treated different to their Sunni neighbors, and lately it has gotten even worse. Stories of families being run out or murdered in their homes have been told back to us, and now they are looking for someone to help them out. Several messengers, traders and merchants have come to Tunis to seek our aid, begging us to intervene. Egypt has long been an area that we have wished to influence, and this could be an opportunity to do just that. Now, when I declare this war, will it immediately leave this land behind? I really hope so. That would be really cool. I'm in. Oh baby, what is this? For the Sultanate of Egypt and Sheikhdom of Cairo and on Sultan Muzaffar ad-Din. I'm on board. Hell yeah, look at this guy. It's just claims, is that right? Yeah, it's just claims. Okay, fair enough. It's a claim war. And I'm still on Hajj. Man, I am behind an enemy realm right now. That's not a good choice. But you know what? We can do this. This is easy. Oh my god. I didn't know this event existed. I really like that. That is a dope flavor event. I just think that the AI is probably blocked from actually, realistically speaking, ever getting it. Because, you know, they're kind of bound by this tributary. They, you know, are allied with him, meaning that they will never really take him down. So I think the likelihood of them seeing that event is incredibly low. Like, genuinely, insanely low. You just created the Sultanate of Syria. I don't like that. So they now created the Sultan of Syria, meaning that they have 2 titles, which is not that bad, but it's not exactly great. Yeah, we need to take them down there. We need to stop that. I can tell you that much. I'm going to take them down one way or another. We are already intervening very aggressively here, and so far I have seen nothing that could oppose me. And oh god, what do I see right here? Kefalonia is going to fall to Bulgaria. And then Athens is conquering the Aegean Islands. I think the Hafsid Sultanate is coming to an end, but they will still be restricted to treat the way it looks like. They can't necessarily, you know, they can't really lose that since there's no war going for that. But man, big F right there. Ooh, and would you look at that? A prominent scholar in Tunis, Ibn Khaldun, who is currently working on the first book of 7 of Kitabul Liba wa Diwanul Mubt. I cannot read that. There's the English title right there. Book of Lessons, Record of Beginnings and Events in the History of the Arabs and Berbers and their powerful contemporaries, is looking for a patron and is humbly asking me to represent him, Wait, but I am Caliph al-Mu'izz. Yes. I am honored. Thank you. Ibn Khaldun from Tunis honored me when he allowed me to thumb through the first pages of Book of Lessons, right? A book that will grow into 7 books over several years. I would be honored to have you as my guest while you work on your book. Absolutely. Never heard of the guy, but seems like a good chap, you know? You gotta respect quality. And there you go, the war is over. I sieged down practically the entire coastline. It have been... Yeah, they have been 3 years and 9 months, my god. Quite some time, but now the war... Are you kidding me? This is so bad. This is part of Egypt, and yet they kept it. I cannot say that I enjoy that. I get that this guy, technically speaking, is Damascus, since that is his primary title, meaning that he's not technically one of ours. But what is this? How do you justify any of this? Well, what do you do? What can you do about it? Now, the way I see this, we now hold beautiful, beautiful Egypt, and I'm going to move my capital over here to Cairo. I think it's Cairo, right, where they founded... Like, didn't they actually found Cairo? I'm pretty sure they did. So if I move to Cairo, do I get a decision or something? Oh, I do! Oh, baby. Has personal wealth greater or equal to 500. I can create the city of Cairo. I'm a huge fan. That's really, really cool. And we are close to getting enough piety to do some sort of invasion if possible. So the borders are horrendous at the moment. But I'm just gonna go ahead and revoke some titles, because these fellas are all fools. If they rebel against me, I will of course take everything. And they are also Sunni, meaning that I can revoke these titles without a penalty. I'm gonna revoke all this stuff, and then we're going to go on and essentially leave the West behind, right? I mean, that's what we're going to do. I'm gonna grant all of this good stuff independence. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Oh no, a rebellion. Good thing I have 9,000 troops right here. I am so surprised. And there goes rebellion number 1. Thank you for attempting this, but you did not get lucky. Maybe next time. Time to revoke all of this good stuff right here. Ah, finally. I have defeated every single rebellion. This guy, Sheikh Mukhtar, is the only person that remains. And I'm going to reward him, of course, by giving him the entire county here. Al-Baratun and Zigra. He can have them, and he may... prosper in them. Oh, I actually got the emirate. Yeah, there you go. Have a good time with it. Look at that, kid. You're doing well. You're doing just fine for yourself. Alexandria, I would like to go to my primary son so that he actually inherits, and, you know, if possible, even better, so that he inherits as the Lord of Alexandria. If that isn't worthwhile living for, then I don't know what is. And look at that. We're just going to hand it out like this. Damietta. What about my second son? I mean, they can duke it out, right? He's already 9 years old here. He's gonna have a fine time. Look at that. Beautiful. Damietta has been established. And then maybe my last son is going to get... And Damietta actually makes him more powerful. That's incredible to me. I want to reach a state, a situation, a level where I no longer need to worry at all about doing anything about my inheritance. I want them to take care of this. I want to see, you know, what they can come up with, what they can do, how they can get it done. Do I have another son? Oh, you know what I have? I have another brother. Welcome. Another brother. Why don't you rule over Sinai? This is one of the very few times that I've ever done this. I practically distributed all my land to clan members. Everything went to members of my family. I usually don't do that because in CK2 you don't need to do that. I hope that, you know, we have to do that in CK3, you know, because in CK2 it clearly doesn't work the way that they intended that mechanic to work. But what is much more important here is that I get rid of all of this nonsense, and then that I get rid of everything west of Libya. I don't really want to hold on to any of that land, so that's definitely going to go out and, you know, belong to others. So, howdy, how are you doing? My brother, you know what? I'm gonna give you independence. I don't even really care for, like, orderly borders or any of that nonsense. The way you are is good. The way you live is perfectly fine by me, and I can't grant you independence, huh? Now I can actually release them individually. Oh my god, I was actually very confused there. I don't know why I thought I couldn't do it, but there you go. I can just simply release them like this, and I would like to simply keep Libya. I think Libya is fine. I'm going to release, of course, Sicily completely on its own. And then I feel like, do I have the... Yes, I do. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to give you a vassal, and that vassal will be this guy. And then you're free. Free to go. Would you look at that? So we're leaving, again, just to explain that the West behind, much like the faTIMIDs did themselves. I think they nominally were still in charge of it, but of course they can't really keep it together. Can't really do anything about it. So as you can see, this is now no man's land. Let's see whether they establish anything. They are, of course, all Shia, and the Zirid dynasty should be rising up, but I honestly feel like that's not going to happen. I feel like the Shaiban dynasty has a really good starting position. Whether they can use it is something else, but we'll see about that. And we have assembled Avengers over here in the beautiful, beautiful east. The Ikshadids got away because they created goddamn Syria, meaning that I couldn't actually take all of their titles, leading to this nonsense. I'm not a big fan, I'll admit it. But this means that I can still technically do an invasion. Are you kidding me? It's an invasion just for Jerusalem? I can't take this. I'll just say, that's slightly maddening. I guess I would have to go for a war against Barca, right? I care about finishing the conquest of why we even came here. In this case, of course, the Holy City. So why don't we just go a bit further down the coast so that I gain access to oh, look at that, the Janabites are still alive. Oh my god, the Carmathians are still alive. He hasn't crowned himself, what is it? Is it Caliph? I can't remember whether it is Caliph that the Carmathians can do here, but man, that is a very strong Janabite dynasty. That aside, let's just declare a war here. Let's strengthen the faTIMIDs to a point where I'm sure that they can come to blows with the Seljuks and not immediately fall over. So if I'm not mistaken here, Mecca and Medina have a Rome-like thing going on, right? Where troops aren't meant to enter the city. So I don't know what I'm doing here. I think it might be like as the Caliph. Is this huge blasphemy? Would he ever do that? I don't actually know. Let me know in the comments if you know how exactly that is handled. But I swear I heard something like that anyway. Whether it's true or not, let me absolutely know. I'm always very happy and very open to learn new things. What I learned a while ago with Awa, that was the Awa playthrough. What I learned there was that women are indeed not just allowed to enter Mecca, they have to do it. Like, you know, everybody else has to do the Hajj. They also have to do it. So that's quite interesting to know. I didn't know that. And there you go. With that story, ends this war. And the faTIMIDs all of a sudden rule over beautiful, beautiful Mecca and Medina. Now, I don't know who I should give this land, because I am indeed running out. I'm running out of people that I can give land to. My brother's son will be getting Hijaz. There you go. Good. Nice. Very nice. I like it. No god. My heir is a lunatic, misguided warrior. That's not good, but that should inspire some drama when he dies, so that people actually go out of their way to try and oust him, right? See, you never see this, but check this out. If I go down here, right, into the dynasty tree, everything just stays faTIMID. Every single thing except this lady. Let me just quickly convert her. There you go, beautiful. She's still not a faTIMID, of course, but everything else, this guy stuck around. Remember, that was the only Shia vassal that already existed, and then now we have Theodot, and they are also Shia. I absolutely endorse this, but of course, not just that. How's this going? Nowhere? That's about what I expected. The only thing that I want to do with this character, the only thing that is left now, is take Jerusalem. What you need to know is, again, I wanted to prepare the region for a clash of the titans, right? And that is, I think, exactly what we have done here, but look at that. I think the Christians are soon to come in, and I would like to hold Jerusalem when they are. I will not fight that crusade, just for the record, or maybe I will fight it, but as a Christian. We'll see about that. Let me know in the comments, of course, who you think I should play next, but I would love to take down the Ikshadid Sultanate before anything else even has a chance of happening. Oh baby, I think this is it, right? This is... Can I do it now? I now control Iskandarun, I guess. I now control it directly. Now the big question is invasion for Syria. Oh my god, it's actually possible. If we take Syria, he has no kingdom title anymore. It all splinters. And then it's just me mopping it all the hell up. Oh, baby. This is what I am talking about. Seriously, like, this is actually it. We're going to... Oh, look at Armenia, my god. We're going to create a massive, massive faTIMID empire. I'm ready. I hope so are you. Syria will fall. The entirety of the Iqshidid dynasty will fall now and forever. I will take the entirety of their power bases and, oh god, then call it a day. I don't like that, but I'm not too worried about that right now. I just need to get my troops together. Look at how many troops we already have just residing right here in beautiful, beautiful Egypt. Now, let's bring them up there. You know what? Everybody just get on the boats. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Oh, I don't know why they would be doing this. And they are fighting in the plains, of course, but I'll be honest with you. You don't wanna walk into me like this. They just signed their own death certificate. I don't think people usually do that because that's probably illegal, thinking, you know, considering that you are not dead when you have to sign it, but look at that. Oh no, Iqshidids, what are you doing? He has AirPods in. Man, I can't believe that year's like, that meme is like a year ago. My god, what an old meme at this point. And there you go. This is how easy it is. Wait. Oh, thank god I can usurp it. First of all, the borders are hideous, but don't worry about it, okay? Would you look at that? I beg of you. Look at this absolute gorgeous beauty. I don't even know what's up here. This is the guy that I just dethroned. He got nothing. He lives on Cyprus now. Good for you, kid. Good for you, buddy. Alright, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and try to destroy as many people as possible at the same time. We're gonna go from there. Yeah, I think that's where we're gonna call it then, eh? That sounds about right. Alright, and this is the end of this episode. Now you can see 981 is the year that we have, and I'm ending this right here for a very, very good reason. We are still the old Caliph. As you can see, I wasn't able to take everything over, but it's just like there's so many duchies here, you can't really holy war that in a good fashion. But what matters more is that I released all of those, both as tributaries, but like I got rid of the tributary status from the Idrisids, and then I went on and just had a good time with releasing all of these. You can see Italy has already taken most of Sicily. We got some Yazidi over here, that's okay. The Hafsid dynasty still exists, but here's the more important part. In the meantime, the age of jihads has unlocked, but not just that. You know what has also unlocked? The next crusade tomorrow. Let me know where you think I should play in the next episode. There is a lot going on here. We could play a Christian, for example. We could try to participate in the crusade. We could play something entirely different. We got a very... Alright, let's not talk about that, but let me know in the comments for sure. And there you have it, the migration of the faTIMIDs is now over, and it is time to look to different shores, maybe into the mountains. I don't know where we're going to play it tomorrow, but I hope that we're going to find something fun to do during the Crusade and Jihad era. This will surely be quite interesting, because the Byzantines will have to deal with the invasion possible faTIMIDs and the invasion possible Seljuks. Now, with all of that being said, I cannot talk anymore, but I do want to thank the members of the channel that are making videos such as this one possible, namely Stefan the Pelted, Achilles, Noah, Eterna, Falling Phoenix, Jacob the Musielago, Dan, Florian, MFV, Mitchell, Aaron, Stefan, Snywolf, and Trengili. Those were the beautiful barons. Then we have the counts, Lachlan, Wombat, Thomas, Shifty, Rex Romanorum. And last but not least, the absolutely beautiful dukes, Eric, Kiriana, Goodfield, Nathan, Jack, Kenneth, Nexo, and Larry Solo Wing Pixie. And I'll be honest with you, I literally can't talk anymore. I'll see you later. Alligator.